Hello, everybody. Welcome back to My Animated Life with your host, Declan Mangan. Now I am a senior, and that means I'm graduating this summer. So this is going to be the final season, and I wanted it to be big. I wanted to have big guest stars during my time in LA, and I was close to having a few, but they have been either unresponsive. They said they're busy. Well, most of them said like spoke for the company, and I've gotten two people at least. So, I mean, we're still gonna go out on a big bang. I feel like because I it's still early into the semester. I can see if I have connections that can talk to me and see if they're interested. But right now, it might just be another basic season. But I do have things to talk about, luckily. So for those who are in the unknown about what this podcast is, what it is we talk about animation of a wide variety. So that could be something related to film, could be related to TV, can be a bigger like idea about what animation is, or sometimes we have special guests and they bring us through the lives of their anime lives. And so some may be wondering why I haven't been here for a whole semester. Well, I was in LA. I was in LA, and there was a lot that was happening over there that I'm very happy I decided to do. And one of those things was the Lightbox Expo. For those who don't know, the Lightbox Expo is basically the breeding ground or meeting ground for everything animation. And like there's people there that are recruiters, there are animation legends out there, there are so many different types of people over there. And it was a great time. I got to go for all 3 days. I got to talk to some wonderful people, and I got some wonderful things too. And I got to meet some student artists like myself. And I kind of want to talk about what I've learned in LA for a little bit about like what I learned about the animation world out there that I feel like we've already kind of discussed about in a little bit of a detail. Uh, the whole thing is it's a team. It's a teamwork. It's very much like film production. It's very much like working on a project. Everybody is on the same team. They're doing different things, but they're still like making this a part of the same thing. And that's what I kind of learned. And it takes a lot of skill. I will say that. I got a lot of people saying like your art doesn't look good. And then I got students, people like my age to be like, "Wow, your art's really good." And it's like I feel like that's going to be probably the more important people to listen to cuz those will be your teammates. Those will be your teammates in the future that will help you in the future. And that is kind of reassuring for me, I feel like. And there's already people that I know in the industry that are, oh boy, that are, sorry about that, guys. I am trying to lower the volume because I am going over the limit. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. There are veterans. There are artists out there that will talk to you. And one of those very lucky people is for me is Steven Anderson. If for those who don't know, I was lucky enough to interview him on this podcast, the very same podcast you're listening to right now. And for those who don't know, he is the director of Meet the Robinsons and the 2011 Winnie the Pooh. He is working on the Tiana show. It was going to be the Tiana show, but now he's working on the Tiana special, which is the Princess Frog main character. And I was lucky enough to get to see him twice during my time out in LA. I got to see him at the Lightbox Expo, and he invited me to Disney Animation. And I will say that was like an amazing experience for me. One of the main reasons LA was such a great time for me, because I got to see the inner workings of an animation studio. And that right there, ugh, I'm getting misty-eyed. That right there is why it's important for why it's important for me to talk about this kind of stuff. And I think we need community now. And the community I want to go into, which is animation, feels very supportive. And I won't lie. I won't lie. It's rather scary for a film major like me, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, because it's very difficult to get into this industry and it's very cutthroat. But there are people out there that will support you. And I past few I had so much support during my time out there in LA from the people I've already interviewed. I mentioned Steven, great guy. But I also got to meet Talia Perper, who was the story artist that I interviewed for season 2, and she was a delight in person, and she helped me get prepared for the Lightbox Expo, actually. And that is something I actually want to talk about too. It's how to prepare yourself. Because what I learned from her is you need to sell your art, but you also need to make an impression that you're not looking for something. So she talked about how when she got started, she's like, hey, I would make little zines, little magazine, little stories, stories that are small, 8 pages, and would share them to someone she respects. And she's like, hey, thank you for your time talking, and I want to give you a gift. And that is exactly what I did, thanks to her. And I'm sure, well, I've actually talked to people from Lightbox still, and they seem like they liked what I got. So, sorry. Sorry for getting a little weird there. But much like film, animation, teamwork. Film is also teamwork. And frankly, some people need to learn it. I still need to learn about it. I sometimes think about how I'm hot shit all the time, and I need to temper that down. So let's stop talking personal stuff. Animation, what else? What else is there to talk about? Well, I guess just for me, how much there is in the industry, because I know there's a lot of things in previs, a lot and character design and animation itself, but you got your rigging, you got your backgrounds, you got props, you got effects, you got all this other stuff. And even if you're not good at one of those things, you can still be good at another thing. I'm a good character designer, but I acknowledge I'm not the best at it, and same thing with backgrounds. But I am really good with expression work, and I also like storyboarding here and there. But yeah, I just want to say that stuff is cool, and it's also separated into different teams. You got the story plan. This is going off of what the Disney building was, because it's inside the castle, and not the castle. It's inside Mickey's hat, and that's really cool. So the bottom layer is just animation, voice acting. Well, actually, yeah, animation and voice acting, and then the top layer is previs. So no, the middle layer is previs. So it's visual arts or character design, background design, or stuff like that. And then the top is the start of a production. It's oh, well, here's this idea. And when I was there, sorry, when I was there, I was able to see how it worked, because there's like two different office cubicles. One was oh my god, sorry guys. One was for uh Zootopia 2, which was just about to wrap, and Stephen told me that's going to be where next year's Hex is going to go, which actually is now this year, which is basically Disney's next original animated movie coming out this Thanksgiving. Wait, no, not Hexed. Frozen 3. It was going to be Frozen 3. That was going to go into where Zootopia 2 was. Hex was already down there. But I got to see how much teamwork goes into, how much effort goes into that, and that's pretty cool, I feel like. And it gives me a lot more perspective about the animation community as a whole. And at Lightbox, I got to meet a lot of different people too. I got to meet story artists, storyboarders. Well, those are story artists / storyboarders, character designers, animators, background designers, 3D animators, 2D animators, production design animators. And one of those special guests is going to be coming on next week. And I already announced it on my Instagram. It's going to be Marcello Vignali. And if you don't know who he is, he has a massive background as a artist. But his most recent work includes Gabby's Dollhouse, Spider-Verse, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But he's also worked on a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons like Captain and the Game Master, and some of the Disney Renaissance films like Mulan. So that's one of the lucky few I got to meet, and he's going to be joining us next week as of recording this, but it'll be coming out the following week. We do episode 3, which I'm still not sure about. But I feel like getting into some news. So today, the Oscars came out, and overall, not a bad list. Some snubs, some sad snubs, but the main event is animated feature, and there's some really good ones this year around again. Like, it was pretty good last year, like amazing. But we got some good ones this year, too. We got Argo, which is a French animated movie that is big in indie movie. Little Amelie, another big indie movie. I actually watched that over the holidays, and I'll talk about that. And then the main 3, which is Zootopia 2, K-pop Demon Hunters, and surprisingly, Elio. Now, I want to go with Little Amelie because that movie has given me some nostalgia about being a child, and that movie was a beautiful film. It was 2D animated. It had amazing pastel colors, and it made me feel things. And then Zootopia 2 would be my second choice. It has been a while since we had a Disney win, and I don't want another Disney win, but also, God, Zootopia 2 was so good. It was a better mystery. It was a better dynamic between Nick and Judy, better story lore for like reptiles and whatnot. And I was sad that we couldn't get an animator or story person for the podcast. I can officially reveal that I wanted to have a animated artist for Zootopia 2 to come on, but Disney, someone from the PR that I was emailing back and forth with was saying, hey, Disney wants them to focus on getting the next film out, which is Hexed. And it's not against the artists. It sounds like the artists really want to do this, but also Disney has deadlines, and I understand that to my chagrin. But But, that's fine. That's fine. But Elio got nominated too, and I'm shocked by that. I connected to it at first because I was a lonely kid, but also, I do understand there was some production hell, development hell with that movie. So, apparently Elio was supposed to be gay or queer coded, but they got rid of that, which forced the original director, and America Ferrera, who was supposed to play Aunt Olga, the new caretaker for Elio, to leave the project. So, yeah, that's not good, I feel like. But I did like what they tried to do. And K-pop Demon Hunters, the big hit of the summer. And yeah, it's going to win. I don't mind the win, of course. It's a good movie. I went to go see it in theaters and bursted along singing the songs, and they're really fun to sing with an audience. But yeah, it was it just was lackluster. Felt like there could have been a little bit more story, but they didn't really do much with the story, unfortunately. But it's still a good movie. The animation is great. The lore is great. The characters are great. You get to see female characters do something other than being femme fatales they showed women can be ready to eat or be badasses, be quirky, be sexually attracted to people. And it wasn't afraid to be that. And it also showed a lot of Korean lore that was interesting, and that's kind of the importance of that story. It's Korean lore and all this other stuff. It sounds like I'm saying war, but I'm saying lore. Near rhymes. But yeah, good Oscar list. Golden got into Best Original Song, which it will win. It will win. Don't doubt it. It will win. It's Frozen. It's Let It Go 2.0. But let me think what else. This happened a couple weeks ago, but they announced a Speedy Gonzales animated movie that is the Mexican mouse running away from cats, and the Mexican icon, and who better to direct it than Jorge Gutierrez, who, if you don't know who he is the Emmy-winning creator of El Tigre, Book of Life. Trying to think, what else did he do? Maya and the Three. I was blanking on the last one he did, and yeah, makes sense. He's a great Mexican animator. I got to see him during Lightbox, and it's really cool to learn a lot about his life, a little bit about his unannounced cancer diagnosis. I think he said he had a cancer diagnosis and it was scary or something like that. Stuff like that, health crises, and it's oh my gosh, we're about to that's not good. But no, he's working on something cool, and it's a character that does deserve the limelight, and a character that doesn't deserve to be canceled. I feel like we are a society that tried to cancel Speedy Gonzales and tried to say the Mexicans don't like him, but the Mexicans are actually, we like him, so you guys can shut up. And no, they're right. Speedy Gonzales is a cool character, and he's a great representation of Mexican heritage, and I'm excited to see more of that Mexican heritage inflicted into this Jorge Gutierrez movie. And I am very excited about that. And in terms of Sony, they did confirm K-pop Demon Hunters 2 and Mitchell's vs. the Machines 2. And I'm gotta say, both movies I'm excited about, because K-pop Demon Hunters can improve on the first, and Mitchell's vs. the Machines is one of my favorite movies of all time. So that's pretty cool that that's happening. what else do I want to talk about? This might be a short episode because we're officially back in the saddle, and I'm trying to get my bearings about what's happening. But some shows that I really liked came out this year. Last year, I talked about Common Side Effects. So good, so good, so good. So happy it got greenlit for season 2. Adult Swim also released Haha You Clowns, which is a animated show that's based on some short series on YouTube by Joe Kappa, and that was super sweet, but also super weird and cheesy, and it was fun. It was a good show. Smiley Friends season 3 also came out. Good season. Maybe not as good as season 2 or season 1. I couldn't watch most of the episodes. I watched 3 or 4 of them, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll, because I already see them on YouTube. I see clips all the time on YouTube, and it's like, well, I've already seen it. Why should I watch the episode now? What else I gotta talk about this movie. It's my favorite of the year. Lesbian Space Princess. I got to see that at a Animationist Film Festival, and chef's kiss. I'll get into that movie later, maybe during if it's a slow week. I'll talk about some of why I liked it. Maybe we'll talk about a few movies here and there again, because I'm not really sure how to do this still. My sister might come on. We'll talk about some queer representation. I think I did that, but I'm going to try it with a transgender person who is a not gender fluid, polyamorous. Wait, no, I shouldn't say that. Not polyamorous. Well, basically, she's okay with dating with anybody. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. I don't know if I should have said that. I think I might have caused some troubles with the family. I don't think I should have said that. That is my fault. But she is trans, so we will talk about queer representation, and that'll be a lot of fun. And maybe we'll talk about some recent animated movies. There are a few coming out during college, my last few semesters. Specifically Goat, Hoppers, and Super Mario Galaxy. I think those are the big 3 coming out in the first quarter that we will talk about. I do want to talk about those, actually, because they are in my most anticipated lists of the year. Mario Galaxy is one of the lesser ones. We'll talk about why, because we'll talk about why when that comes, and then we'll talk about Hoppers and Goats, and yeah, then this is going to be fun. Point is, this is just an introductory podcast of where I've been in LA, what I've learned in LA, which is animation, much like film and TV, is all about teamwork, and they are supportive of each other, and they won't be afraid to talk to you. Some episode layouts of what's going to happen, maybe, and just some overall news that gets me excited, mainly Oscars and the Speedy Gonzalez movie that I am looking forward to because I like Jorge Gutierrez, one of my favorite artists, and I'm excited to see what he does with that. So, this might not be an episode that might air. This might just be something editorial. It just might be like, hey, this is me. This is what we're doing. I'm excited about it. I got some things planned, hopefully. So, yeah. This has been Declan Mangan. Thank you for all the support for the past few years. And we're not done yet. We are not done yet. I will tell you that. because my animated life is here to stay for a couple more months. So stay tuned.